Go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of the show. Stardate 2016.266 at 21:01 Eastern Standard Time. Surprise! We're back. Yes, after a bit of a hiatus here between work, school, and who knows what else is going on, plus Legion dropped, and there was a whole bunch of projects going on. I don't have to fix Cryptic Studios' wiring closet. That's a whole nother job in and of itself. We are back, and we're going to be discussing as much as we can in as little time as possible. So, I'm going to introduce our panel here. Our newly promoted Chief Science Officer, Captain Darth. Protius, say hello to the audience.
Greetings and salutations.
Our Chief of Spam, Spacebar, and Get Good Tactics, Captain SOB.
Hello.
And our Chief Emergency Ship Porn, and oh, this is so good videos, Zeph from ZEFilms.
Surprise, motherfucker.
We'll love it. Here's your black card. You got it back.
Yes.
Awesome. SarcasmDetector, the head of the Grumpy Intelligence Agency. He is on hiatus as well for the time being, and will be making a return on a couple of special things after he gets some intel, as it is. Speaking of which, I got to talk to you guys afterwards about some intel that I just received, but we can't say on air. Ooh, yes. I'm also in the works of talking to another podcaster who does a lot of console games and who actually has touched STO. And we're trying to see if we can get the schedules worked out so he can come on the show and discuss what he has while we promote his podcast to the audience out there. So if you're a big console gamer, especially in the Central Florida area, you'll want to check this gentleman out as soon as we bring him on the show. Moving on with that, the console space. It's been released. Some people have taken in here and said, ooh, this is very good. ST on the consoles. I get to play with a controller now. And this is awesome. Some people say, I don't know what's going on here. ST on a controller. This it doesn't feel right for me. What's been the review so far? And you two gentlemen, our Chief Science Officer and our Chief Emergency Role-Playing Hologram, you've both played it on the console. Give us your opinions here.
Proteus, I'll let you go first, sir.
Well, since I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 side of the console, I've played it up to about a level 12 already, and got through the tutorial. I did a Romulan science tune. The leveling up process felt fluid. It felt like it was intuitive, but the controls take a lot to get used to because you're playing everything on a controller with 16 buttons, and you've got all of this other stuff that you can do with it, but there's no information about how you can set up your controller or how to, set up your powers and stuff like that. So it's still a learning process. But the ground combat actually felt better than stow ground combat on the PC. And
yes,
it actually felt a little bit more like a first-person shooter the way it should feel than it does on the PC. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And I couldn't believe it. It was amazing.
Yeah, the ground definitely feels a lot different in a better way. And for me, I've played a lot of first and third person shooters on console. Like Mass Effect is a huge thing, and I've played through the entire trilogy on console before, so I was used to that third person. And I wasn't too sure how it'd be on playing STO and MMO on a console. This is a first for me. And it was actually really good, especially with the zoom in. And there's also, if I remember correctly, there's also kind of a built-in auto target.
Yep.
The only pain in the ass part about it, though, is if one of your bridge officers cross your path as you're locked in, then your scope locks onto them and starts to follow them around. So you kind of gotta quickly get out of it and then relock onto your enemy. But yeah, the ground aspect actually feels really fluid, really good. I like it. I really do, actually.
Yeah, it was very shocking, to say the least. I wasn't expecting this level of gameplay on the ground, and everybody knows I hate the ground. I mean, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But this actually felt really good. I mean, it was it was almost as if they took the aspects of an actual first-person shooter and said, okay, let's build our ground combat on console from this. And they succeeded. I mean, totally succeeded on the ground side.
Yeah.
Space side,
Well, I was just going to say the other kind of thing that's a little bit of an annoyance for me on the ground is the jump. There's a little bit of a lag when you press the A, because the A button is also assigned for whatever power is assigned to it. So you have to do kind of like a quick tap of the A, and then there's a little bit like maybe a half-second lag from when you press it to when you actually jump. I think that's my only real gripe about the ground aspect of the game. But yeah, the space is really really weird to get used to.
completely awkward.
Very awkward. Yeah. um, yeah, I'm still trying to get used to it. I think I'm around level 11, so I finally got out of the Miranda and into a cruiser. Um, but the space part is actually still fun.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun.
I was curious before the console came out, how you'd lock on to specific targets and shoot, and all the things that we have in game to us about enabling and disabling auto fire. And then the big burning question is, what do you do when you have like when you're going from level 1 to 10, you have up to 3 bridge officers, and they each have 1 power. Once you get past level 10, then you start getting ships where you can have more like a lieutenant tactical. What happens then? And
I've actually played with some of that.
Sorry?
I've actually played with some of that because I got some bridge officer powers. I got 2 bridge officer powers now on one of my ships.
Yeah, so it's that weird click wheel thing that we've seen in the photos that have been sent out by Salami Inferno and the team at Cryptic, and very familiar if anyone has played Mass Effect on console, or even as far back as Counter-Strike on console. Any game where you have to select multiple weapons, you click your console wheel and the thing pops up. So if you have like your tactical powers, I think was on, I gotta look at a controller, I think was letter B. You'd have to press and hold B and go and select one of the other powers that was in there if it was available. But the amazing part that they added was, you can hold another button to turn it on to automatically fire as soon as the cooldown is done. So for Xbox controller, the left control button for me, was set to evasive maneuvers, and I think that was kind of the default. And then as you level up, you get attack pattern alpha, which becomes assigned to that same button. So what I did was you press and hold that button, and then it'll be like press and hold right button to auto engage when available. So as I'm flying around in a major space battle, as soon as the attack pattern alpha cooldown went away, it automatically turned on. And I think that was actually, it's kind of like a built-in keybind thing, which is, I think, was a really, really good thing that they introduced with this system, personally.
And it goes a little deeper than that, depending on the power too, because I noticed with things like hazard emitters, you can set conditional triggers. Like with the hazard emitters, you can set it to where if your hull reaches 75% or lower, it fires.
Oh, really?
Or like with fire at will, you can actually set it to go off like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and 30 seconds into combat, or always fire when available. There's a lot more depth to it than a lot of people have seen so far. And that's why I started messing around with it, just to see what's what. And I really think they've got something here, but they need to make it more intuitive. And they also need to have some sort of tutorial in the game to explain all this stuff, because there is no information for this.
Yeah,
none.
Yeah.
It's only us finding out and telling the people about it and how to do it. There's no actual tutorial for it, and that kind of disappointed me.
Yeah, and the other thing that was a little bit disappointing, and I don't know if this is just something we haven't discovered because we don't have a tutorial for it, but you can't kind of customize your power levels. It's kind of just like you've
got 4 presets and you're done.
Yeah, and so that was a little bit. It bugged me a little bit, but I'm only level 11 on console right now, so it doesn't bug me horribly. Um,
It bugs me a lot because I'm a science tune and I can't do a
mm,
full aux build with that. I can't customize it to have full aux power and full weapons power and then lower the other two. I can't do it. There's no way to do it that I've seen so far.
right. Now this is some comments that I've actually seen like on Twitter and Reddit from other folks. Do you feel that the difficulty of the enemies for normal has been kind of like, do you find it easier than normal on PC? Because I'm finding it easier
It
to blow
did.
through things.
It did feel like the NPCs weren't as tough as playing on the PC, and I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. But I mean, maybe it's because I've had experience with the game and I know what to do and when to do it and all that stuff, but it really felt like the NPCs weren't doing anything to me. I mean, I stayed above 90% health like the entire time and nothing was happening. I was like, what the heck is going on here? It felt a little easy.
Yeah, I kind of I had that feeling too, and it could be because we're used to it. But I had just finished doing, like you and I had just finished doing the run through of AOI with our new alts, and
Yep.
yeah, even like with this new tune, I felt it a little bit easier than that. So the run through of the storyline was still kind of fresh in my mind from the AOI alts, and I
Hmm.
found it easier. Um, there was another thing I was gonna bring up. What the hell was it? Da-da-da-da-da. Wow. Oh, yes, yes. The new lighting engine. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
I've seen it on console. I seen it on Tribble when I did that unofficial trailer, and I well on Tribble ESD it's really bloomy. It's really bright.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but there's some Klingon ships that look where you really notice the new engine, and it looks really good. And I know right now, if I remember correctly, September 6th was, I believe, just a soft launch for the console. So I'm not sure if they're still doing some work and they're going to have like an official launch. And I think that's why the AOI stuff isn't on console just yet.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to try and get an answer about that. Maybe we'll reinvite Maria to come back and talk about it some more. Um,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but no,
Maybe she could whisper Chakotay for us.
yeah, maybe Chakotay. But yeah, the lighting engine on console, I really, really, really dug it. The only other pain in the ass part, and it's like this for any game on console, is chat.
Yeah, because
If
there's
you
no keyboard.
yeah, if you don't have the keyboard attachment, have fun.
Yeah, enjoy chatting or trying to argue with somebody or troll somebody in the console. Unless you have a keyboard, it's not happening.
I know, right? But day one of the console release, sorry, technically day two, because in Canada there was a little bit of an issue where it was supposed to be released to North America, but there was an issue where it was only released to the USA, so I had to change my location on the Xbox from Canada to USA, and then boom, there it is. Um, but yeah, day two in the game, day one for me, already bots spamming. Come to this website to buy 100 million EC for $25. I was just like, oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, dude, I was shocked. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This game's not even a week old, and there's hundreds of spammers already. Oh my god!"
Yeah. Now,
But have you seen the market?
cheap.
Yeah, except for the dill market is actually climbing on the PlayStation 4 side of it. It's actually almost up to 300 dill per zen already.
Wow.
Yeah, I was insanely shocked. I was like, "What? Are you kidding me? That's crazy!"
Yeah, it's like it's a flashback to like 4 years ago when dilithium was reasonable on the exchange and lockbox keys. When I looked at it, I saw lockbox keys on the exchange for 900K. I'm like,
Wow, really?
yeah. I'm like, oh, I like this place already.
Wow,
But
that's crazy.
Odin, I'm gonna bring you in on the conversation here with regards to console because I believe I remember you linking this at some point. but I can't remember. There was an issue with the lockbox that they released the console, correct?
Correct. It was and I saw this on Reddit at first, where some boxes that advertise a tier 6 ship only put out a tier 5. I don't know if that's been resolved or not. I did not follow up with that.
Hmm.
I think I saw something on Twitter about that, and I believe they have a fix for it, and it's going to be a retroactive fix to where everybody who had a tier 5 ship come out of the box will get a tier 6 ship. But I'm not sure if it's live or not yet. I haven't checked.
Yeah, that's something I'm actually, you know what, let me look at that and see if I can find something real quick about it. All right, but aside from the gameplay in space and ground, is there anything that you would see as a good quality of life improvement that you see on console that should be ported over to PC?
Other than the ability to trigger your abilities separately, that like that auto fire stuff for each individual ability, I would love to see that come to PC. I really would.
I would love to see that dilithium exchange come back to PC.
Yeah, that too.
Do you notice if there's any sort of like activation latency issue?
No.
I have not experienced any tray lag, as we call it in the PC world. I haven't experienced any of that, but I have experienced rubber banding in the game officially on the console.
Yeah, I haven't had any of that yet.
Well, that's because you're on the Xbox server.
True. But no, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't had any lag spikes. No SNRs. It's actually been really stable.
Yeah, I haven't had any laggy parts yet, and no SNRs whatsoever. But there was a few cases where I was getting a little bit of rubber banding here and there, but it wasn't too horrible.
Now,
but all in all, I kind of like it.
Good. Now, something that is different between the consoles versus the PC, and I know we've already discussed this with Maria here, is the release of actual patches and updates. They have to get certified by their respective companies or whatever board that they have before release to their own consoles there. So based off of what you've seen so far and based on what we heard, is there anything that would say, okay, we expect regular releases at, whenever they make muster, or is it, probably once every quarter or once every or twice a year we'll see updates?
Well, given the patches that I've seen go through for fixes so far and the speed at which those were actually implemented, I'm probably going to say that the consoles are going to get regular updates just like the PC does. But with that certification process, PC will always be ahead of console because there is going to be that lag between certifications and actual implementation. So, I mean, I don't think there's going to be like too long of a wait. I don't think 6 months is going to be realistic. Probably a month between updates, maybe. Just depends on, what kind of content they're pushing out and whether or not the respective consoles actually have to test everything physically to make sure it's good. What do you think, Alan?
Pretty much same thoughts as you there, actually.
Thanks for the answer.
You're welcome. And by no means am I an expert in any of this crap. I just like toying with stuff and experimenting.
Hence the chief science officer.
Right?
All right. So, with that said, anything that we would like to see from console, aside from the queuing of abilities or meeting conditions that they would actually activate, anything else that you would like to see from console come over to PC?
I actually have
new
something
lockbox.
here.
Oh, what's up, Spencer?
I would very much like to see keys at 900,000 DC on PC.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in all seriousness, I want the console, the Cardassian Dominion console lockbox. I want that on PC. and I'm very upset that we're not getting it on PC. It's no hint of getting it on PC. It feels like a console exclusive, and I'm not cool with that. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. I hope this isn't a. I hope they're not going to do ships that are just exclusive to certain platforms. Like make one for all, not and none for the other one.
Yeah.
It's because I know there's a lot of Cardassian fans in the game that have been wanting a Keldon class ship for a very long time, and T6
Alan.
at that. Yeah.
Your stream dropped offline for a second, and your packet loss went up a little bit. It's back up now, though.
Huh.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But it's hard to say about anything else. Like I think I'll get a better idea and feel of the game as I progress through the ranks on the game. So it's yeah. The only thing is keep playing. I don't hate it, which is good. I thought I was gonna have a tough time with it, but nope.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how enjoyable the game actually is on the console. I thought I was going to completely hate it because I'm not a big fan of a lot of different console games. I play a few here and there, but I was shocked.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot different than PC. And it's not frustrating at all. I didn't feel, oh my god, what the hell. I think the only real pain in the ass bug from day one, and I'm pretty sure it got fixed pretty quick, was the zoom when you're out in sector space. Actually, did you notice that if you zoom in closer on the ground, it carries over when you beam into space?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
I don't know if
annoying.
that's intended or not, but
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. So, but yeah, I think that's all I really got to say about console. It's got a good
Yeah,
review
about
from
the
me so
same
far.
here. Yeah, not too bad so far. I give it about a 3.9 out of 5.
According to what we saw about it, the ship over there is console exclusive. So
Now
Yeah.
the ships are not console exclusive. That lockbox is console exclusive.
the lock.
Well, yeah, the lockbox, I can understand the lockbox being, but when are those ships coming to PC?
I'm hoping that in a few months we'll see some sort of upgrade route for our current T5 lockbox and Lobby ships. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that would be nice. To be able to take those to T6 would be awesome. I got quite a few T5 and T5U ships that I would love to upgrade.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, my old T5U Defiant coming out being a T6, that would be like the other T6 Defiant that I have.
No, for specifically the lockbox and Lobby ships, not the
specifically
ships.
just of that.
Yeah. My bad. If I confused you on that one.
So that would be what? There was wasn't there one fighter type escort that was a tier 5 in a lockbox? I'm trying to remember the name of it. It'll come to me later. Anyway, moving along. Now that we have that coming down there as far as reviews of console, we will definitely be moving over to what is this about new fleet holdings?
Oh God, here we go.
Please, I mean,
let the fanboy parade begin.
What is it? I didn't look at it. What is it?
Actually, give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna try and fix something.
Okay.
The stream might drop for a second to 720.
Well, yeah, you don't need 1080 for what we're throwing up there.
Loss is currently increasing.
What was that?
All right, I think we're back. Stream
Cool, we're back.
It's still buffering.
Refresh the page. Oh.
Yep, there we go.
We are live.
All right.
All right, Starbase K-13. Do you remember this from the episode, Odin?
K-13. Hold on. Wasn't that the Klingon one with the tribble bit?
No. It was
No.
the episode where you beamed down to the starbase with Scotty to take all those parasites off.
Yeah, I'm bad with that. Nah.
Well, basically, what happened in the episode is the Nakul ship blew up and caused a temporal anomaly and sent K-13 back through time a couple hundred years.
700
Oh, okay,
years.
all right. So I was thinking episode, and you're actually talking gameplay. All right,
Yes,
go on.
So basically, what the premise of this fleet holding is we stumble across this old starbase, and instead of scrapping it and piecing it out, we're going to add it to our fleet holding and renovate it. And in the process of renovation, we come across some cool technology that's retro that we can upgrade, and a bunch of people in stasis pods, Klingons and humans alike, in stasis pods that are going to wind up being bridge officers and doffs. And the thing is, it is a TOS-themed holding, so it's going to be a TOS-themed space station that we can go to. Alan, any fanboy thoughts on this one?
For, not for me personally. I think our peers will love it though.
I know a specific person in my fleet who is probably going to be employing a couple of spooge mop bucket boys for the next week after it comes out.
But I think the really awesome part of this is another dilithium sink, which I know Spencer will definitely agree with me on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Odin, you're slightly echoing. The nice thing is too is I have a bunch of those lovely dill mine claims, so I don't actually have to use real dilithium. I can just use those, convert them over to the fleet dill vouchers, and yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be lovely.
Yeah, I'll be really interested to see what consoles become available, like what special consoles come out of it, and what other goodies come from it. And I'll be really interested to see how the interior looks and all that stuff. If I remember, I believe Donnie, the guy who did the bridges for the Kelvin ships, I believe he had a hand in this fleet holding. So I'm sure we can expect something really good, and I'm excited to see it.
Thoughts, Odin?
I'm going to have to look at this a little bit more, but as far as the fleet holding, besides voyism, is there anything that's going to be good for people's space or ground?
We have no idea yet.
Yeah, it just pretty much announced. I know as soon as it's released in Tribble, we're going to be jumping all over that for research purposes to see what comes out of it, and obviously testing with those consoles, and for me, do another one of my fleet holding videos like I did last year with the, the Krenim space station.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be so cool. You see what I did there?
Why, man?
Because I can.
Gorn. That's not Gorn, man. No.
Zerg is losing his shit now.
Yes, he probably just logged out of the show.
But a lot of the things with this fleet holding is we really don't know much about it yet. I really hope that we see it on a triple patch sometime tomorrow.
You think it's going to be that soon?
Well, I think we're going to be seeing this new season, expansion 3.5, whatever they're calling it. We're either going to see it on the 4th or the 11th, is what I think.
Interesting.
So we should be getting a pretty large triple patch here soon.
Yeah, I look forward to that. You know they're going to lock it, right?
Maybe.
It's okay. I have lifetime. I won't have to worry about it.
Yup.
So what's this new key ring bundle thing? What's this about?
I think this is awesome. On a marketing
We'll let
standpoint,
Spencer have this one.
Yeah, Spencer, this is all you, dude.
So it's a 20 pack of keys that costs exactly twice what 2 of the 10 packs would cost. And it comes with a free upgrade kit that will instantly take any item to Mark 14 Epic. So you're buying 20 keys for what you'd normally buy 20 keys for, and you're getting a free upgrade with it. People are complaining about this online, and I don't know why. This is just good.
There's another addition to that, though. No dilithium cost either.
Yeah, I saw that.
If I read that.
Wait. Time out. So you buy 20 keys with, dill converted to Zen or real money.
Mm-hmm.
And with those 20 keys, you get a bonus upgrade, whatever you got, to Mark 14 Epic at no dill cost to you.
Correct.
The specific 20 key pack. Don't just go in and buy 20 or 2 10 packs or 20 separate keys. You have to buy this special pack that has 20 keys. And then when you open it, you get a ultimate tech upgrade, which takes anything from like Mark II or whatever all the way up to Mark 14 Epic with 0 dilithium cost.
So why are people complaining?
Because they see it as another cash grab.
It's a genius cash grab.
I totally agree.
Instead of buying, hey, look, I need to sell keys, I'm going to buy 4 packs of 10 keys and then put them up on exchange, or I want to pop lock boxes, is, oh, great, for being a value customer, we're going to give you something for free. And they're complaining about that?
Well,
Seriously?
yeah, dude, look what community we're talking about. There's a lot of QQ in this community, especially as of late.
My buckets are overflowing.
Gamers, all right, everybody, just cover your ears and whatnot for a moment, because I'm just going to... What the hell are you thinking, people? Seriously. This is something here that people are going to spend money for anyway, and a company decides to give the customer something in a show of appreciation for them, and you're complaining about it? Sit down and shut up.
I know. The gall of them. Like, all right, let's take a look. What is the hardest pain in the ass item to get up to Mark 14 Gold? The 4-piece ICO set.
Yep.
No, there's something harder than that.
Is there?
Yes.
Well, the 4-piece ICO set would be up there.
Well, it'll definitely be up there, but yeah, I got some torps that'll rival that.
Well, okay.
Well, that's because you're unlucky.
But think about how much dilithium, like, what is it? You need, when you're at Mark 14, in order to attempt to go through, like, the 100% cycle to try and upgrade at 30, it's what, 25 upgrade things? So,
well, yeah, that's true, because not just the dilithium cost, but also the upgrade kits as well.
Yeah.
So you're saving a ton off of that.
Yeah. So if it takes 25 upgrades to get through, like, so for Mark 14 Ultra Rare to Mark 14 Epic, and it doesn't go Epic, and that's what, 1,075 dilithium every time you press that upgrade button. Multiply that by 25. It doesn't fire, and I think I'm on my shields alone, I've probably gone through that cycle of trying to get to Epic 4 times. So even if we bring it down, like round down to 1,000, 25,000, is that right? 25,000 dilithium times.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
probably closer to about 30.
25,000. Yeah, 30,000 times 4. So that's 120K, and we're complaining that they're giving us a free one-shot thing. My brain is broken.
There are plenty of things to complain about, legitimately complain about. And people are going to get up in arms about something that Cryptic Studios is giving as a thank you for supporting us. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
This is the state of gaming today, though. You're talking about people who are, the entitlement age, the millennials, that want and don't want to work for it.
Now, let's stop right there, though, because I will bet you, based off of other complaints that have happened, You cannot just pin this on millennials. There are people who will just be grumpy for grumpy's sake. I don't know whether it's because they've already spent resources beforehand or they can only get so much, and then they're hating it that other people who have, like Spencer, who's put work into getting other tunes up to a certain level and buying all the contraband and spreading it across all of the tunes to be able to do that, or people with real life money who can have that much disposable income to drop on something like this. They're probably hating that. That's not a millennial thing. That's just people hating because they can hate because they can't have it. That's probably just 1% of it there, or not 1%, one part of it. Sorry, one part of it there. But I can't say this is just a millennial thing.
Granted, I could see people who make their living selling upgrades getting really mad at this because it's biting into their pockets, but there's really no reason for anybody to be pissed off at this.
Boo frickety hoo.
It's a good thing.
Get good. Make EC somehow their way.
Right? Spam Spacebar. Where's your golden Spacebar award, bro?
Or use these and get like the meta arrays or whatever up to Mark 14 gold. Hold on to it until the promotion ends. Things die off and put it up on the exchange and make a mint.
Exactly.
Oh, that is one thing with these two is if you're upgrading weapons, if you have, say, a very rare Mark II damage 2 pen, the ultra rare modifier is still random.
Actually, there's a patch note from yesterday that... Oh, no, sorry. That's cluster torpedoes and mines. Never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, unless mines start flying as fast as a Kelvin Torp, I don't think there'll be a huge market for that.
Well, you know what? I'll bring up this point from the patch notes from yesterday because we are talking about the upgrade stuff. Mines and cluster torpedoes now gain a DM/DM mod at gold quality in place of the AC/DM mod found on other weapons. Existing gold quality mines and cluster torpedoes will convert their AC/DM mod into the new DM/DM mod.
Now, also, I want to point out that the DM at Epic is 2 damage mods each, so that is a 12% final damage buff
to those particular types of torpedoes.
To those mines and clusters, yeah.
Mines and cluster torpedoes, which
now
all it is just a mine deployment system, which still doesn't address the core issues with them. It's great if they can hit for 3 Mack trucks worth of damage, but if they never make contact with the target in the first place, granted, yes, we've been asking for this for years. Yes, they finally got to at least a part of it. Can they get rid of accuracy on the mines altogether? All mods on the mines altogether? That would actually be good, but okay, fine, whatever. We'll take it. But if the mines never hit the target, no amount of buffing will work. You can make it hit for like a bazillion damage. If it never makes contact with the target, it's still no good. The pace of combat in this game has changed so much from when it was first implemented that they have become obsolete unless you are going in with an extremely low DPS group.
True. But what about that one torpedo that has its firing mode switched to a cluster?
The new Chronoton one?
Yes.
Yeah, that one that you can't fire more than one of until all the mines of that one is destroyed? Yeah.
But would that damage mod make that initial torpedo mode better?
It's not a torpedo, it's a mine deployment system, and it will only work on the mines, not the quote-unquote torpedo part.
Interesting.
All the cluster torpedo is, as far as PvE is concerned, is a mine deployment system. That's all it will ever do. PvP, if you launch it at a target and an ally of that target decides to fly in front of that torpedo and the torpedo and hits that torpedo, it will act as a full-blown torpedo then. But if it's going to make it to its target, it will deploy at X kilometers away from the target, throw out all the mines. Mines take about 2 seconds, second to 2 seconds to activate, and then it'll start seeking the target.
So mines are bad.
Mines are horrible in fast-paced combat now.
Hear that, Cryptic? We need an upgrade.
We've actually, you can actually go back to the episode where we've talked with Cryptic Rock on this and brought up a couple of concerns here. So I actually see the hand of Cryptic Rock on this one here, because this has been a major concern, for people who actually use mines and torps on their builds. Yes, some of us still do that on some of our alts. And we go through this and it's fun, but hey, this needs to be fixed. The actual mechanics behind them needs to be addressed.
Still a long way down the road, though.
At least the train is chugging.
True.
Another big change with this patch was threatening stance. You can no longer quickly toggle it on and off to take advantage of the attrition warfare for the cooldown reduction. It now has a 3-second recharge time and a minor delay between toggles.
So did they feel that being able to switch it back quickly was considered an exploit, and that's why they made this change?
Yes.
Interesting.
But for most tanks, it doesn't really matter.
What? Why? We can have a 0 GDF with invincibility on, and that's not an exploit. But turning on threatening stance on and off is? Seriously? This is where people need to complain.
No, turning it on for a second to hit a heal to get cooldown reductions, and then turning it right back off and getting your damage buffs back up from it was considered an exploit.
Yeah.
So they were getting all the benefits with none of the drawback, is what it was.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We're still gonna have some beef with that. Got beef with that one.
Because Taco Tuesday's coming up. Yay!
Taco Tuesday. Got your Craggle, bro?
Oh, all right. Anything else before I have an aneurysm or something?
Nothing really outstanding on the patch notes. Some animation updates. An issue that was apparently causing a crash in the chat system. Some visual things with the the 23rd century Constitution bridge now has NPCs correctly sitting in chairs, and the film grain effect has been added as a toggle option. So if you like the grain, you can have it. If you don't like it, you turn it off. So actually,
yay, Cryptic! Thank you.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. 23rd century TOS security officers now have appropriate TOS themed weapons. And then system-wise, resolved an issue where Singularity Overcharge would only fire from one beam weapon at a time. So I don't know how it's supposed to be firing now because I don't use it ever. Spencer, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, you just don't use that ability.
Oh, okay. So
I haven't used that ability since it came out.
Character, they resolved a clipping issue at the wrist while wearing the veteran decorated Klingon bracer and replaced a duplicate alien-generated preset costume with a more unique costume. And then known issues, the TOS Gorn outfit does not unlock once completing the episode Battle of Caleb 4, and no level up audio or FX is playing for the 23rd century captains, but nothing groundbreaking, really. So I think we're safe to go on to... if you're Cation, there was actually an animation update on the Pounce. So if you have the Pounce trait and you have a Cation, let us know if that looks better. But I think that's it for patch notes, really, to cover.
I think we've got an interesting couple of months ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. You know,
a lot of speculation of what's coming, and it's going to be interesting to see what actually hits the boards.
Yeah. Right, but what I want to know is what's coming up is going to be a rehash of what we've seen before. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's something that people are comfortable with, and it's something that Cryptic can put out, make some minor tweaks, and can keep it interesting if they do the right tweaks to it. But things that are needed for the game just to stay more vibrant for long-term players. something like new STFs that are actually challenging and thoughtful and and rewarding at the same time, and actually make you feel like you accomplished something.
No one scenario.
Star-based battles, for example, or fleet battles, where you can actually do something with your star base to increase, hey, this is an important reason to join a fleet or an armada, something like that, like what they used to have in City of Heroes, where it made a difference in how many people and how strong those people are whenever you went to champion versus champion battles. Not necessarily have to be a PvP thing, but kind of like a little Starbase 24, except it's happening to your fleet Starbase. Something like that would work nicely.
So what you're trying to say is fleet lives matter?
Fleet lives do matter. I mean,
I agree, though, that there needs to be some purpose to the fleets other than saying, okay, I have access to a store. I mean, that's really what the fleet system right now is. The only reason to join one is to have access to a store to buy the elite goods. That's it.
And
there's no other purpose for it.
Like the combat buff.
And the combat buff. Other than that, my fleet, we've got 300 members and maybe 10 of us talk to each other. That's it. Because there's no reason to group up with the fleet and do things with the fleet when you can just do them all on your own, or do whatever with your buddies but still have access to the fleet stuff.
Now, there are some fleets, and I know SOB, your fleet does this a lot here, where you actually go and help out people with their builds and try and organize people into runs and help them out as far as how they can improve on their ship builds and their tactics. And I know you, Protius, definitely work on your science builds in tandem with them in order to see how far you can push that thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now,
but, I mean, just the little cliques of people that we have now working together, we're all in different fleets working together. There's no reason for us, no purpose for us to actually be in the same fleet. None whatsoever. And that's sad because fleets used to mean something, and now they don't. They mean absolutely nothing.
Some ideas I actually had for this was give us a buff if we're teamed with someone in the fleet or the armada. Give us like a buff to what we get for rewards from queues, XP, dilithium marks, something like that. Another idea I had was, we have that global event thing. We see them run every now and then. Something like that for each armada could work pretty well. Like everyone work towards a mark bonus week or XP bonus, something nice like that.
Yeah, get armada level reputation or projects basically, to where the entire armada has one project that they can focus on, and it'll affect the entire armada instead of one fleet. That would be cool. What do you think, Odin?
I think I like that idea a lot. That would coincide with a couple other ideas that we've pitched previously on the show. And yes, it'll take a little bit of upfront work, but not only will you be able to get a lot of people invested into that as far as players are for within fleets or within armadas, expanding on that with armadas, that's a great idea. You can monetize that without feeling like you're eye gouging people out to say, okay, pay up for an extra bonus or something like this. Dump fleet resources in here, dump dilithium in here in order to have, bigger buffs and automated defenses. Just throwing something off the top of my head.
And they could do so much with it. I mean, having the Armada project level, where all the Armada is working on different projects, for various things like an XP week or a dilithium week or something like that, that only that Armada is going to benefit from. That would make armadas and fleets have a lot more value, and members and players would want to be part of the bigger ones and, work together as a whole instead of, just joining random fleets left and right just to get access to the store.
We just need to make fleets and armadas great again. It's just simple as that.
Yes, we do.
But while we're on the topic of fleets, I posted this the other day to Reddit. This is something that I know myself and a lot of other fleet leaders really want to see. Either give us some more holdings management permissions, so say only a certain rank can slot projects in the Starbase special project slot, instead of what we have now, where it's either you give them access to slot everything on every holding, or you give them no access.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I would love to see that.
Either that, or give us a much larger fleet mark dump project to slot there. Like, we've got people, there was some people in the thread on Reddit saying they had upwards of 100,000 fleet marks on several characters. Just give us a project that takes 25,000, 50,000, and I mean, if you don't want to do the permissions changes, just do that. That would really work.
Yeah. I would actually like to see that, a bigger fleet dump too. Because I know a lot of people in my fleet that are sitting on, 50, 60,000 fleet marks, and we don't want to give them permission to slot these projects, but we're not always there to slot the projects because a lot of us are doing other things, and it would make it so much easier to have one big project that everybody can dump in every day.
Somewhat related to this, because we have most of you over in the Breakfast Club, that's your SOP's fleet right there, have to up-and-coming Facebook group that is featuring a lot of ship builds and different type of builds, different variety of builds, performances, etc. And that is Utopia Planitia.
Yes. Yeah, this was actually started by our buddy that we game with, Tankia. He started this group back December 30th of last year, and he doesn't have the greatest internet, so for him to do extra stuff, it's a little bit harder, but it's starting to take fruition. It's moving forward. So far, there really hasn't been any drama, no stupid rules, nothing like that. It's so far, it's community. There's 34 members, but the majority of them are very knowledgeable in ship builds. There's a cool little layout that Tankia has set up in the photos. If you go to the albums, what started is like kind of a little library of all the ships that are available in Star Trek Online, and in each one is a shot of the ship, and then of its console and weapon layout empty, and then the last shot is the bridge officer layout, and can post up builds that they've done with that ship. And then, as usual, on the main page, you can post up your builds looking for advice to better your build and all that. So we have that link for the Facebook group. If you guys are on the Book of Faces, I highly encourage you to join and get in on the conversation. And if you need some help, let us know. And if you're able to offer help, join and help those who need help. It's a cool community.
And on a side thing to that, for those who don't have access to Facebook, I talked to Tanky about it already, and we scooped up the name Utopia Planitia for Reddit. So if you guys want to do, be part of the community but don't want to do the Facebook thing, we do have the Utopia Planitia set up on Reddit, and I put the actual name in the chat in this video here.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. We will also have everything put up on the show notes as well. Now, give me something on this immersion bit here with the D7.
I know it may be surprising, but there is a issue with a KDF ship. We've never heard of this before. But the D7, this billion EC ship from the lovely 23rd century promo pack that they did, it doesn't have its own bridge. It uses the Bortescue bridge by default.
What?
The Bortescue bridge, when you beam into the interior, it has this, you can look out the windows, and it's just clearly not a D7. This significantly impacts my immersion. I just can't believe they'd put in something this game-breaking.
How did that get past Taco and the boys? I mean, I don't see that as them slipping up on that one.
I don't know.
We'll need to ask them for sure, because this is supposed to be like a marquee ship.
I haven't been able to really play my Klingon much since I saw that. It significantly hurts my immersion over there. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's actually a big immersion breaker for a lot of Klingon role players, because there's some serious role players on the Klingon side, and I can guarantee you that's a big immersion breaker for them.
Well, let's go on to something a little bit happier before I break out 100% Cisco on this here and flip out. Let me just dial it back a bit. Yeah.
Please do.
Yes. So give us some good news over here in the media corner. What we have actually here to showcase what people are doing.
Media core, or the media corner. We're going to start with our buddies over at TrekYards. We got 2 links up. They did back-to-back days, 2 interviews with Thomas Maroney from the Cryptic developer team, who also actually recently just got a promotion there. He is lead ship artist, if I recall now. I gotta look that up now. Pretty sure. Thomas Maroney. Yeah, lead artist for the Starship and user interface art team on Star Trek Online. So congrats to Thomas on his promotion. But yeah, TrekYards did an interview. One of them was like introducing Thomas Maroney, and then the second one is the TrekYards podcast, where they actually talk ships and stuff. So we got the links for those. We got 2 links from PAL Gaming, Astro Zombie. The first one, he did a video not too long ago about how to make 2 million EC and 7,200 dilithium per hour. It's a very short and informative video. It involves ground, and ground is not that painful from what I've learned the past couple of days. He also did a budget. He's done a bunch of budget build ships. But the one that I linked was the Nebula budget build. He got 126K in a PUG in ISA, and there's also a built-in tutorial, so he's explaining why he's positioning where he is during the ISA to kind of give you an idea what you need to do to kind of get the best out of your build and all that stuff. So we got that link. If you have any budget build requests or want to see him do a ship, drop a comment on one of his videos, and he will try his best to satisfy you. Protius, our science guy here, his most recent video, you did a T6 Pathfinder science build over 100K. And
correct.
Because you're here, I will let you tell the fine folks about it.
Well, there's not a whole lot to tell, but basically what I've been doing is trying to shine some light on the fact that science tunes are not the redheaded stepchildren. They are indeed contenders when it comes to doing high-end content and high-end DPS. And most of my videos that I've done so far have all been some of the more popular ships that everybody likes, like the Krenim Anoraks and the Paradox. And now I'm starting to get into some of the less popular ships that people think are garbage, and they're actually not. I mean, I'm showing people the different variations of the exotic build. I mean, it's the same build I've been running for years. It's possible for you to do it, and the videos show that I'm putting everything together to make these old ships shine in the light again. And the Voyager ship was very fun to do. The next 2 that I've got coming up is the Luna class and the Nebula class. And both of those I broke 100K with. So it's definitely possible. And for you science people out there that want to do this stuff, just hook up with me. Find out where we're at, what we're doing. Let me know what's going on. Check out the videos. If you got questions, bring it on. I'll do my best to answer whatever, and try to keep science in the forefront of the community again, because that's where we need to be.
Yeah, and if you can't find them in game, then you can definitely find them in that Facebook group that we're talking about, Utopia Planitia, which has no affiliation to the.
What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here to bring you the top 5
Sorry,
stories.
I opened up a page and a video started playing. That's weird. It was a Netflix ad. Yeah, you can reach out to Protius and Astro, both on the Utopia Planitia Facebook page. But yeah, and last video, SOB, you did a video, correct?
Yes, I did a solo ISA with a science Audi, but the big thing in the video is the second portion after the run, which is discussing timing and positioning, taking advantage of stuff like continuity. I'm wanting to figure out where specifically to hit certain things on attack to try and take advantage of continuity and all the cooldown reductions to get multiple alphas and GDFs. I'd suggest taking a look at it.
And if people have
I actually
questions,
did look at that video. It was pretty good, man.
I'm guessing if people have questions for you, they can comment on the video or reach you on the Utopia Planitia page as well.
Yeah, that, or I have a post on Reddit.
Or look for Donald Trump in game.
Yes.
And,
just be careful which one, because there's multiples now.
Oh, right, yeah. And last video was one that I did back on console release day, just kind of an unofficial Star Trek Online trailer. I did that in Tribble, so that was with the new lighting engine. I wanted to take advantage of that. So that's out there. If you haven't seen it, that will also be in the show notes. And I think that's all we got, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not much else really going on right now that I can think of.
Anybody else want to add anything? Any important things? I can't think of any.
That I can think of offhand.
Odin?
What was this?
Oh.
Do you have anything to add?
Not for right now.
No?
I'll just say just enjoy.
Yeah. No, we've... I think Odin touched on this a little bit near the beginning, but we've been kind of MIA. There was the whole Las Vegas thing where there was a lot of coverage on the stuff that was being released. But the stuff that they announced there was really stuff that we had already known and kind of covered, like the console stuff. And other than that, the AOI stuff, which we covered thoroughly in July. And so there really hasn't been anything that's really come to STO for us to really talk about that we haven't talked about already. Plus, life has been kind of kicking us all in the ass work-wise lately. So that's why you haven't seen us doing a podcast there. Last one we did was in August with Cryptic Rock?
Yes, late August. Actually, end of August, yeah. Was Cryptic Rock. Yeah, right now I'm still working, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
work. What is this work you talk of?
I got an overtime shift to take care of tomorrow, and my company is in the process of being purchased, so that's been a big stress thing the past little bit. But yeah, hopefully we can get back into the swing of things and more things start popping up. We're going to be keeping an eye on definitely the fleet holding that's coming up, so there'll probably be a lot of stuff to talk about with that and show off. And yeah, that's it from me. I got nothing else to say.
I would actually like to say something real quick before I have to dash back onto this thing here. Cryptic, for some of your veteran players, we need something to give us that drive again to say, yes, I want to continue to play STO, so that way we don't feel like we've done this already over and over again. We've already had our own artificial creation of the DPS leagues and try to push for higher numbers. We've done multiple ship builds. A lot of us have collaborated with other people some of them mathematicians, some of them are excellent reverse engineering your system. Some people are just very creative and inventive, and some people are just idiot savants like Tankia who stumble upon everything that's broken, mashes it all together, and say, hey, look, I did something amazing. So we want something more than that. Give us the ISC, give us a new type of STF or series of STFs that we have to go through and punch and play, ground and space. Combine them both if you need to, but make it interesting for us and make it nice instead of a Proc 5. Hey, look, we've done this. Now let's do it again. Only with like one more ship here. Let's do it again with 3 more ships here. No, we need something more. We love the game. Whether you had the IP or not, we love the game. Fix some of the mechanics issues. Give us some new innovative content. Dream. We know you can do it because we've seen you do it before in some things. Midnight was freaking awesome. But give us a Midnight STF style and reward people for doing it well on the higher difficulties.
Yeah, I totally agree. We need some higher end content, something elite, something more challenging. And I'm not talking about time gated missions. I'm talking about actual difficulty with AI that reacts to what we do. That would be cool. Anybody else have a thought on that?
I think Spencer just wants more cheese.
He always wants more cheese. He loves
I heard
cheese.
SOB threaten to take over the kinetic community, and in doing so, he would then have to use torpedoes at least 5 days out of the week and be good at it.
That just sounds like a terrible idea.
Make STO great again. Use High Yield 3.
I'd actually like to see him do that.
He's tried.
I have before.
Yeah. Look at his CCA record.
Oh, I've seen his CCA record, and I don't think that was his best attempt. Let me just say that.
I'll teach him. He can do better.
I know he can.
I'm not even trying right now.
Yeah. What about you, Protius? Parting words?
You guys are awesome. I hope everybody enjoys everything that we do collectively as a community, and I hope one day everybody can have as much fun doing this as we do. Chakotay.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, here for being with us. Thank you, audience, for tuning in on an impromptu night, but we had to get the ball rolling. We figure, thank you, Chief Emergency Role-Playing Hologram, for putting this all together and hosting this. We got the ball rolling. People came up and supported us as usual. We love you all, and we will see you out there. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, and remember to make America great again.
Good night, and remember,